What is up, my friends? Jesse here with Chessman Sports Cards. Thanks for joining me. Today we're gonna crack 4 SGC cases. I'll go over why. Uh, Bought this one. It was cracked, so it went pretty cheap as a 9. I've kind of evaluated it, and white corner there, slight white corner there. Yeah. So this should be a 9, all things said. We'll see. Some of these I was going to keep in the case for longer just because they're long-term holds, but I saw this and it was a little discerning. And I think this is the reason PSA's moved to fatter cases on some or thicker cases on some, is the plastic is pressing up against the card. And I think through time, my house stays pretty consistent temperature, but I'm just worried about that messing up the surface. Yeah, I pulled this out for one of my videos, and it was very discerning to me and got me pretty nervous. Jordan 8. I originally thought this was undergraded. It's a members only, as you can see here. I bought this for $115. The 8 with the edging, there's a slight chip there, but the edging is incredible for these. And then on closer inspection, and when we pull them out, we'll look at it too. There's a surface issue there. If this crosses as an 8 as a members only, 115 plus the 15, I'm ahead on it. And this was the big one. I just looked up the prices that I paid for these. I bought these quite a while ago, and just been holding them in these cases. This is a 9, just the standard version. I paid $150 for this, and we'll look these over when I pull them out, but I would give this a 9.5. I legitimately think it might. It's not perfect, but for this, I wouldn't be surprised if it got a 10. Let's say that. We'll check out the surface when we get it out. And this I just looked it up. It was like 180. So if it gets an 8, it's kind of a downgrade. If it gets a 9, a PSA 9, it's a $100 swing. So we'll see. I'm gonna actually go get some gloves just because my hands can tend to be oily. I've watched other people. A lot of people don't use gloves. I've thought I've been pretty careful with washing my hands and being careful with the cards, and then you go back and look, and sometimes fingerprints show up later. It takes the oil a little while to make something, and then people say that PSA wipes the cards, but I can tell you how frustrating it is to have something encased and then for a fingerprint to show up. It's very, very frustrating. So I just wear the gloves. I think that's a ego thing, not to wear them. When I'm breaking packs, you guys watch on the channel, a lot of times that's for fun. And the gloves do take part of the fun away, but when I'm talking about long-term collecting, I don't mind throwing out gloves. Okay. I'm back with the gloves. I was making sure the video was rolling there. I'm sure people have watched this plenty of times. I haven't done too many SGC ones, actually. I've done more PSA ones. Plastic just shot everywhere, which is fine. It looks like I might have to crack it a little more. No. Yeah, that wasn't too bad. So I'll keep this until the grades come back, and maybe I'll show them. The main thing with these cards is centering and surface. If you've looked at flare cards before, so like some minor, I would call them stress lines. I wouldn't call them print lines. And I think some of it's also just from just in the pack, the cards touching each other. But this surface is looking super clean. And then back here we have some slight surface stuff. But yeah, a little more around there. Let me see if that will clean up. Yeah. That's why I think it's silly not to wear gloves. It's because someone could have done that when they were putting the card in. So that cleaned up a little just from the cloth. That cleaned up a little right there. Yeah, this will cross as a 9. If not, I know just to. And I've shown this before. I started doing that a while back. Just to be a little extra careful. Card saver. I think the Rose Zero is like one of the go-tos rookie cards to have of 96. Kobe has one. Ray Allen has one. Steve Nash does not have one for whatever reason. I'm trying to think. Should I crack that down there? I think I'll stay up at the top. So when I insert the screwdriver, sometimes my hand slips in and it gets a little cray-cray. That one went a little easier. I might try to take a little more. Yeah, there we go. Snap on. If you guys are curious, I kind of feel like the bigger the better. And then I'm using a pretty small screwdriver, and then I have a big one sometimes but it seems like, oh yeah, much easier. Just taking a little more out on the. These do seem to. The card floated a little bit there. Just checking out the surface. See, sometimes like your eyes can play tricks on you. At first, I thought that was a scratch as I was doing that. I was like, oh no, a scratch. But then that's just the white on his waistband. Soft corner. PSA is kind of hard on these, especially when you can see the white from the front and then edging there. That's not perfect edging. If you're looking at corners, look good. There, a little whiting there. Yeah, I think when I had looked this over before, it's just white there on front and back that makes me a little nervous. Um, that it'll cross as an 8, but for the experiment, we'll see. Um, and I've always thought this is like something CSG or SGC could do to like prove their case is like just have a random person like myself or another big grader, like say Alico 3 or Carson Cards or whoever, um, and just have them go out and buy 10 modern cards, say 2017 and newer, ultra modern, and then like semi modern. Have them do 20 cards, and then have them do some stuff from the 90s, and buy them off eBay so it's completely randomized, and then send them into PSA and see how they cross. Uh, and then I think that would be like a huge win for your brand if like most of them crossed like at the grade, and then like say 80% of them crossed at the grade, and then 10% above and 10% below. Uh, to me, that would be. I'm kind of making a mess, but I'm at my hobby table, so. And then just pay for the person to like buy the cards. They don't have to be like super expensive ones, but I mean, you could go after like Shaq's rookie ultra, which is like in a 9 is 10, $15. Have someone buy 10 of those. I don't know. I don't know why someone at one of those brands hasn't thought of that, but it's my 2 cents. I've thought about that before. I've thought about making a video on it, but looking for stuff to talk about while I do this one. There we go. Sorry, I was doing that off camera. Not intentional, just trying to focus on the card. I mean, if this came back as like a 10, that would be like a huge thing for SGC's brand. In my opinion. Let's see. Just 9. Let's get this plastic. Front's clean. 2, we have to look like right in the middle here is where most of the issues are on this card. But I'd call that a little soft on the corners. The bottom 2 are pretty sharp. So yeah, this will probably be a 9. But for high risers, that's for the edging is what you're looking, and then any issues around the embossing. But this is a solid 9. And 9s go for. It's not a. See that down there? I don't know what the fuck that. Oops. Try not to cuss. It's not a separation. Let's see if it'll rub out. It's not really rubbing out. I don't know what that is. So yeah, this is a 9. It's a 9. So I'll add these to the submission videos that I've been doing. These will go to the vault. They'll be long-term holds for me. Thanks for sticking with me. If you've made it this far, you must really be into seeing cracked cases because we're 15 minutes in. Uh, just figured I'd capture it. I've cracked plenty of PSA cases off camera, probably 30 or so. It's not like crazy amount, but um, so I think the trick too is to kind of go like this and not to be pushing down because then you can accidentally like jab the card. So this one was mislabeled by SGC. I think most of the time when it happens, it's just the submitter actually submits it wrong. It's not really like, but I still feel like the grader should be knowledgeable enough to. I don't know if like the graders can make the call of like, hey, what I'm grading, they have it wrong, but I feel like they should be able to because then you'll be able to catch more stuff. Because there's certain cards that just get mislabeled all the time. Yeah, I'm with a lot of people. I don't know that this thingy needs to be in there. It's just for looks. Back. Hopefully you guys can see that. It's just a little piece that's came off the surface there. So that's what you have to look for on the back, as well as the edging, which we've gone over. Edgings. And to me, this back would potentially have a chance at a 9 because it's on the back and the edging is so clean. But that's like a surface scratch. It's not like super noticeable because you're just looking at it like that. And especially if you look at it like that, you can't see it at all there. I mean, this is why this is an awesome card. Just looking at it like that. But yeah, just some light rubbing of the surface, and then I think that's what maybe not scratch, but like just maybe sticking to another card or something. So I would say these were accurately graded. Everything that I'll have to get that last sleeve. I don't know where it disappeared to. There it is. So I hope everyone liked the video. If you stayed this long and you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Feel free to like. Feel free to comment. Are you doing any crossovers? That's what I have for today. Hope everyone is doing well, and I will catch you later.